The first human I ever saw die was smiling. Not the triumphant smile of a warrior winning a fight. Not the manic grin of a predator tasting blood. It was quiet, almost gentle. As the plasma round tore through his chest and lifted him off the trench wall, his eyes met mine across the smoke, and he nodded like an apology. That was the moment I understood why the galaxy feared them. But I didn't know it yet. My species, the Keltari, evolved without war. Conflict existed, yes. Debate, resource disputes, political maneuvering, but never annihilation, never total war. Our neural structures favor consensus over dominance, logic over rage. When the Dominion called for our assistance against the humans of Terra, we answered not with hatred, but with calculation. The projections were flawless. Humanity was young, emotionally volatile, technologically impressive but strategically crude. Their reputation, we concluded, was exaggerated, a myth grown from isolated incidents and dramatized encounters. We were wrong, painfully, catastrophically wrong. And the battlefield of Narration 9 was where the truth finally revealed itself. Narration 9 was a dead world, once lush, now stripped to bone by orbital bombardments that missed their target centuries ago. The Dominion chose it as the proving ground, a message to the galaxy. I was assigned as a battlefield observer, embedded within the Dominion's 3rd Suppression Legion. My task was simple: record human combat behavior, analyze morale collapse timelines, and report when resistance broke. It was supposed to be clinical. It was supposed to be clean. Instead, the sky burned. The humans arrived not in formation, but in chaos. Drop pods screamed to the atmosphere like meteors, slamming into the ash plains with reckless abandon. No synchronized landing. No energy shields deployed. Dominion commanders scoffed. They lacked discipline. One of them transmitted, "Advance." That was our first mistake. The ground erupted. Human soldiers poured from shattered pods, many already wounded from atmospheric shear. They should have been disoriented, afraid, broken. They were laughing. Not all of them. Some screamed, some cried, but enough laughed that it chilled me in ways no data set could quantify. They charged anyway, into overlapping plasma fire, into artillery barges that turned stone into molten glass, into death, and still they ran. What I saw next changed everything. A human unit. Designation later identified as the 3rd Terran Shock Battalion, took a Dominion trench that had been fortified for 6 cycles, not with superior weapons, not with tactical brilliance, with refusal. Every time the Dominion cut one of them down, another took their place. When ammunition ran dry, they used blades. When blades shattered, they used their hands. When hands failed, they used their bodies to block firing lanes so others could advance. Their casualty rate surpassed 90%. They did not retreat. I demanded an explanation from the Legion's strategic AI. Why do they not disengage? I asked. Their losses exceed logical thresholds. The AI paused longer than expected. Human doctrine includes variables not fully modeled. It replied, designation, emotional override. Emotional override. The words unsettled me more than the carnage. But that was only the beginning. I first noted Commander Elias Kane during the 3rd engagement. He was human, mid-40s by Terran standards. His left arm had been replaced with a crude mechanical prosthetic that whined under strain. His armor was scorched, patched, and clearly salvaged from fallen comrades. He stood where no commander should, on the front line, watching his soldiers die. And yet, when he spoke over open comms, his voice never wavered. "Hold the line," he said calmly, as if ordering a meal. "We're not done yet." I felt something stir inside my neural lattice. Fear. The midpoint of the battle came when the Dominion unveiled its final asset, the Annihilator, a biomechanical war construct designed to end planetary resistance within hours. It towered over the battlefield, bristling with singularity cannons and adaptive shields. Entire human divisions vanished beneath its advance. Victory probability spiked to 99.6%. The Dominion celebrated. The humans did not retreat. Instead, Commander Kane did something no strategist would ever recommend. He ordered all remaining units to stop firing. Silence fell across the battlefield. "What is he doing?" I demanded. Then Kane spoke again, broadcasting on all frequencies, including ours. "If you're hearing this," he said, "it means you're still alive, which means you still have a choice." He looked directly at the Annihilator. So do we? None of us were prepared for the truth. Human ships decloaked above Narration 9. Not warships. Medical carriers. Evacuation transports. Refuge vessels filled with civilians. Families, children, the elderly. They descended into active fire zones. Dominion gunners hesitated. "They're exposing non-combatants." A commander hissed. "Is this some form of shield?" "No," I whispered. I understood then. The humans weren't protecting their civilians. They were showing us what they were willing to lose, and what they were willing to die for. Commander Kane transmitted one final message, voice breaking for the first time. "We don't fight because we think we'll win," he said. "We fight because someone has to stand when everything else falls." Then he gave the order. The humans detonated their own battlefield. Every remaining reactor, every power core, every last explosive they had buried beneath the ash. The shock wave tore the Annihilator apart from the inside. The blast annihilated human and Dominion forces alike. I was saved only because my observation platform had been shielded beyond expected parameters. When the dust settled, the battlefield was silent. Victory had no meaning. I reviewed the footage later, frame by frame. I saw Kane's final moments, standing amid the fire, watching the sky fill with evacuation ships, knowing he would never be on one of them. He didn't scream. He smiled. The same quiet smile as the first human I saw die. I submitted my report to the Galactic Council 3 cycles later. They expected tactical analysis. They received a warning. Humans are not the strongest species in the galaxy. They are not the most advanced. They are not the most logical. But they are the only ones who will burn their own future to give someone else a chance at tomorrow. They do not fight to conquer. They fight to endure. And if you ever see them smiling on the battlefield, run, because they've already decided that winning doesn't matter anymore, only that you lose. And that is why, long after Narration 9 became another dead world, the galaxy remembers one truth above all others. When humans take the battlefield, dread follows, not because they crave war, but because they are willing to become it.